So today, on this episode of A Decade in Madden, we have Madden 25. And I played a lot of Madden 25. This is a game that I enjoyed pretty thoroughly when I was playing it, but just going back to this menu and looking at it again, I have this anxious feeling of, oh god, this again. I think I played this Madden more than any other Madden on the 360 console era, and I think the lack of soundtracks just makes this game awful. Um, with Madden 13, it was new and fresh, but it still got old. But when you did it again with Madden 25, it was hard to play this game for 300 hours because you had the same menu music all the time. And it just got old, and the menu looks bland and boring. It's just hard to look at. I remember watching Mr. Hurricane. I think he had a St. Louis Rams franchise for his Madden 25 life cycle. So that was pretty fun. So you can still get the roster update. That's cool. What I'm interested in is seeing who the 99 overall players are. So you got Kaepernick and Alex Smith on that. Peyton Manning is a 98. Von Miller's 97. So they got close. Marius Thomas 93. Cool. Okay, so the 99s we have. Seems like there's more than I expected. Jamal Charles, no surprise. He was a very, very dominant player in his prime. Calvin Johnson, he was just on the cover of Madden 13. Adrian Peterson, when did he have his 2,000-yard season? Okay, so that was the previous season. So he was an animal. Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman was a 99 overall in his third year. That's really surprising, actually, because in Madden 12, wasn't he like a 60-something, like a 62, like a 65, or just he was a really low overall, so that's interesting. But he did play very well in those years. J.J. Watt, he had a lot of sacks, 20 and a half, so that's well-deserved. Gronkowski, and then Joe Thomas and Peyton Manning just barely miss it. Actually, I want to see who the lowest-rated player is. I wish I had done that for the other games as well. Okay, so the long snappers. Who is the lowest overall non-long snapper? Stephen Franklin. I don't know who that is. No idea who that is. Bo Brinkley. I know who that is. Okay, so what we do is we play 3-minute quarters on a play now, and I play as the Denver Broncos, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to play now, and I'm going to pick a random team 3 times, and that third team is who we're going to play against. I want to see how this game stacks up against the last 3 I played and see how it's going to compare to the future games we're going to do. This is the last 360 game, and the rest are all going to be on the Xbox One. And I think towards the end, once I get to the last game, which is Madden 20, which is the current game, I'm going to rank them from worst to best. Right now, I've played 3, Madden 11, 12, 13. 13 was frustrating. 11 it just didn't feel great. The motion was weird, and Madden 12 was an improvement over 11, and it didn't look as good as 13. But if I had to pick one to play right now, I would probably play 12, because 13 was just what I'm going to be looking for is edge rushers getting to the quarterback on time. My biggest problem with Madden 13 was that you would have an edge rusher, and he would get to the quarterback unblocked, but for some reason, a press animation would get messed up, and a receiver would be wide open, and he'd just get the ball off right away. When you have an edge rusher unblocked, you should not have time to just throw the ball to whoever is wide open. That was a huge problem in the last game. It was extremely frustrating. So we're going to jump in this and see if there's anything else that's just as excruciating to get through. Okay, 90 overall for Denver. That's good to see. All right, 1, 2, 3. The New York Jets. I would turn my phone off, but it's far away, so I'm not going to. Sorry. All right, All-Pro. The New York Jets in Madden 25. Was this Geno Smith's first year? I don't know. That was so long ago. Okay, so let me get this right. So game flow 3 minutes, and then weather on random. One thing I liked about this game was how the menus had all these old Madden little facts and screenshots. It's pretty cool to look at. Okay, presentation looks pretty solid. The presentation from Madden 13 to Madden 25, it was great. Madden 13 had a great presentation, and I think they only improved with Madden 25. I really like the graphics. One thing I didn't well, I think the menus look bad, but like the stadium looks really good. One thing I don't like about this game is I just feel like there's way too much gray. I feel like this whole game, the color tone that what made whatever developer see gray and he was like, this is what we have to make the game look like. Everything has to be gray. It's just really boring to look at. See, I mean, if they just added some color. One thing I never got was why don't they just make like the HUD display NFL Networks, like HUD display. What were they trying to emulate with Madden 13? Was it CBS? And the scoreboards I feel like always look like crap for Madden games. Why don't they just copy NFL Network? I mean, do they even have to like license that or do anything with that? I mean, it's their own product. They have deals with the NFL like Madden and EA do, so I don't really think it should be a problem. Whatever. So let's get into the game. All right, let's get this kick off. Again, terrible camera angle for a kick, but the analog kick meter is superior to the version we have now and the version that we had in Madden 11 and Madden 12. I would love to get Matt Prater a good old strip tackle or whatever you want to call it. I want Matt Prater to cause a fumble. That's what we're going to be going for whenever I kick the ball. Still a 4-3. I'm pretty sure 4-3 is the most common type of defense. If you're generalizing in the NFL, and maybe even all of football, but I just think a 3-4 is just superior. God, Geno Smith and Chris Ivory. Could you imagine having that team now? Because Chris Ivory isn't even in the NFL anymore. I don't think. Geno Smith is the backup for the Seahawks. Now, the good thing with the Denver Broncos playbook is that I think they still have Von Miller going out on edge rushing plays, which is nice. Trendon Holiday was a pretty good returner. He fumbled a lot, though, and that's why he didn't last extremely... Wow. I was hoping for more help than that. I feel like that was another awful problem with these older games, is that the lead blocking was absolutely awful. I'm not really seeing anything in this game so far that makes me think, oh wow, I can't believe they took that out. I mean, if anything, I'm just glad I don't have to play this game a whole lot. Oh my god, yeah. I could be completely wrong, just because I am playing this right now. But that looked a little funny. Yeah, the little interaction with like that right there. When he made his cut, it looked a little funny. I don't know, maybe I just threw a shitty pass. I'm not gonna worry about it. I wish there was some way that I could look at all the stats I've accumulated throughout like every Madden. Like on Xbox 360, there was like a companion app, or even Xbox One, where every Madden that you have on there, it'll keep track of like every stat you have, and you can see like how many interceptions or touchdowns that I throw in like a 5-year period. I feel like we could definitely do something like that nowadays. That would be pretty cool to look at. I don't want to know how many picks I threw in this era of Madden. See, back in these days, from probably Madden 12 to probably, I don't know, Madden 17, maybe Madden 16. I played on all Madden. And I would do custom sliders with it. Usually whatever Operation Sports had, or if I saw Mr. Hurricane put out a good slider set, I would use that. But I can't play video games as much nowadays as I could when I was like 15. And it's hard. It's hard to play all Madden when you don't play this game very often. So I figure going down to All Pro was probably the correct move. And I've definitely gotten worse over the years. But I feel like All Pro is a very solid difficulty to play on. I feel like the game plays the least amount of like cheese. Because if you play on Rookie or Pro, obviously, you're going to absolutely crush whoever you're playing. But when you play on All Madden, the game cheats. It's cheap. The teams don't play better. The animations just get more fucked up. But here's the thing, like the presentations, like I said, and this really lame menu. It's just gray, 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 gray. Look at all this gray, gray and black. That's all there is. I mean, it looks terrible. So the menus in this game look really bad. I think the intro sort of like production was really good. The scoreboard looks terrible so far. The game isn't playing great. I wouldn't say there's anything about what I'm doing that seems fun. Defense isn't fun. I mean, it sucks. But nothing's happened yet where I'm like, what? Why the hell did that happen? What on earth happened? That was really fucked up animation. Like anything abhorrent. You know. The one pick I feel like did look a little. I feel like realistically, that receiver would have cut and outran that linebacker, but whatever. It's not the biggest deal. Linebackers have been overpowered in Madden for forever, so no need to sweat it. See, I feel like they're not getting to the quarterback fast enough. I had an unblocked man coming through one of the gaps, and he didn't get there in time, and then wide open receiver. I don't get that. I don't think, paid attention to that kind of stuff when I was playing before, but it's so frustrating to have an unblocked rusher not get there in time. Shouldn't be the case. Alright, let's actually try to get down the field. I'm looking at Welker. There we go. I forget Wes Welker was even on the Broncos. I mean, he was good on the Broncos. Not as good as I thought he would have been, because he was a superstar with the Patriots. Then once he got to Denver, he was sort of he was really the third option. You could argue even fourth option when you factor in Julius Thomas. Oh, I thought he was gonna keep going. Was he supposed to stop? Whatever. We'll chalk it up to my bad. I'm not doing so hot. I mean, it's almost halftime, and I've thrown a pick in, like 1 or 2 completions. There we go. That's a good play. Let's get more of those going. I'm gonna take another timeout. I'm gonna make sure Julius Thomas is blocked. I'm gonna see how well he does. I'm gonna make Eric Decker do a curl route. Nope, they got that covered. Oh, I had to finesse that one a little bit. All right, let's get there quick. I want a quick touchdown. No Sean Moreno. Was he a starter? I don't remember him starting. Then again, this was a long time ago. Oh my God, did Peyton Manning just throw a ball on the run? That's how you know it's a video game. Wes Welker's tearing this thing up. Then again, I mean, Denver had crazy receivers this year. This was the year they broke all the records. Peyton Manning broke the passing record, the passing touchdown record. Pretty much every receiver had a shit ton of touchdowns. Yeah, because this was Madden 25, which was really Madden 14, and that was in 2013. And the extra point is good. Look at Wes Welker. That's a beautiful stat line for halftime. That's 3 points. Look at that. I'm really not noticing anything. Nothing really crazy as far as gameplay. Like, nothing great. No great improvements. No awful disasters, though. The game plays normal. I mean, it feels really similar to Madden 13, except I'm not seeing those really awful press animations. But I am finding unblocked rushers not getting there in time still, which is a little frustrating, because I feel like that's a pretty important part of the game, is to make sure that getting to the quarterback at an appropriate time. Alright, so we're going to go to halftime, see if there's anything cool in that. Nothing really unique or useful in that. Joel Dreesen. Didn't he get, like, involved in like a drug raid or something? I'm pretty sure he's like one of those THC advocates, in Colorado, which a lot of players do after they retire, but I don't know if that was like kosher back then, and I think I remember seeing an article about it, which is pretty goofy. Wes Welker's having a day. Have I even gotten Demaryius Thomas the ball? I feel like I've only been throwing to Decker. Damn it. Who was that big boy? That man he looks huge. Look how big he is. That man needs a lean cuisine. Lean cuisines are good. I had a panini one not too long ago. And I'm not a big guy. They're just good. Oh my God, Eric Decker just got laid out. I think this was the last year. Was this the last year Eric Decker was on the Broncos and then he went to the Jets? Or was it the year after? I don't remember. I was really upset when we got rid of Eric Decker. What did we gain by getting rid of Eric Decker? Oh, come on. Oh my God, Wes Welker is tearing. I haven't run the ball yet. I'm going to run the ball. Oh my God, Peyton Manning. They did his forehead so dirty and oh, we got his helmet on all of a sudden. I'm finding a lack of things to say about the gameplay because there's really not a lot to say. It feels just like Madden 13, but it feels a little bit better. That's really all there is to say about it. Now, I could go on all day about how much I hate the menus and the color scheme of this game, but there's really not a lot to say about this game. I mean, the graphics are an improvement. The gameplay is an improvement. The menus look awful, and the music was annoying. And that's about how Madden's been forever. I feel like you just say the same thing every year. It's just the gameplay is a little bit better, and I hate the menu, and I hate the scoreboard, and the music sucks. I mean, I could say this about every Madden, and those would sort of ring true. I'm sort of generalizing because some Maddens look better than others, like Madden 20. It's a good-looking game. I think the menus are a nice change-up from what they typically are. I think the music has been awful. And that's extremely subjective. Before they had a nice mix of like weird, like rap, pop, like country rock type stuff, even as soon as a few years ago, like Madden 17 or something. But it seems like the past like 18, 19, 20 have only been rap music, which is fine. I don't have anything against it. It's good stuff, I guess, but when it's the only thing that is played and when there's like hardly any songs, like I feel like I just hear the same thing over and over. And as somebody that doesn't really listen, like I listen to rock music, I'm like a really, really heavy rock music is my thing. And like Madden, like '08, that was great. I mean, you had some really like screamy songs in Madden '08, which was pretty fun to listen to. As far as what they could put in there, I mean, I don't expect them to put metalcore, deathcore, and fucking Madden, but oh God, in Madden 20, the soundtrack with all the football-related songs, I mean, that shit was terrible. Who liked that? Who thought of that? Who thought that was a good idea? I didn't think it was a good idea. Maybe they should hire me. I can put a bunch of oh man, that Billboard. Did anybody see that on the internet? Like they did like the Billboard top 10 rock songs of the decade, and they had like a bunch of Imagine Dragons, and I don't know if it was that one or if it was like the top songs of like period of the decade, but there was like Mumford and Sons somewhere, I think. I was like, God damn, like you can do a little better than that. So I guess they can just slap some Mumford and Sons and Imagine Dragons into Madden 21, and I guess they can say, "Oh, that's what you asked for, isn't it? You asked for heavy rock music. We've got Mumford and Sons." I wouldn't put it past them. I am the guy, though. I mean, here's the thing. I love Madden. I've been playing it for years. But there's obvious things that are frustrating that I expect them to work on, and sometimes they don't. But, oh God, that looked like a brutal hit. But I'm a guy who gets EA access. Here's what I do. When Madden comes out, you pre-order it, obviously. And then when they come out with the EA Early Access thing, I get that. Oh, come on, that was a sack. I get that, and then I play early. You get like the 10-hour trial, and then as soon as it comes out, you cancel it, and then they give you a refund immediately, and you got to play pretty much a couple days before everybody else, and that's what I've been doing for years. Seriously, I've been doing that for years. So I get so excited. I'm all there for when the rosters come out and the ratings reveal. It's a really fun time. So I love Madden. I love football. When I was in middle school, I was part of this little focus group thing where they got a bunch of us together and they said, like, what are your dream jobs? And we got to sit in, like, these weird little presentations about pursuing our dreams and stuff like that, whatever you want to call it. And I put a arena football kicker, and I think the Arena Football League just folded, but I dreamt of being a kicker in arena football. Didn't work out, obviously, and I apologize for maybe the lack of interesting commentary. Oh god, this is beautiful. About this game, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. There's just not a lot to say about this game. I haven't seen anything super upsetting. Oh, did I just try to kneel it? Hell no. Nothing really upsetting. I mean, the game was a solid improvement, but at the same time, they didn't really add anything. I just did it again. You gotta be kidding me. They just didn't add anything worth talking about. I find myself not really knowing what to say even about this game. The press animations are better, and the game feels a little better, but the color scheme and the menus suck. That's the only thing there is to say about this game. You know, this video could have been 3 minutes long, but it's fun. So I think if I had to play any Madden that I've done so far, I think I would play this one over the others. That being said, none of these games are that... These games have not aged well. They really haven't aged well. I'm just going to kneel the ball down and just end this here, because what else am I going to look at? This game is okay. It's the best out of what I've played, but really after playing all these Maddens, it's like, I can't believe I played these games this much. It's hard to have play what we have now and then go back to this. I mean, it makes me appreciate when I'm probably going to go play Madden 20 after this video, and I have the practice squad. The gameplay is infinitely much better. The development of how you draft is better. Scouting, I think, is better. I didn't like how scouting... I've never liked Madden scouting. I think the best thing I've ever seen from an EA game... What? I kneeled the ball. It was NCAA Football 14 and the scouting system, and that was great. But Madden scouting has never been great, but if it's going to suck, I'd just rather have the simplified version of what we have now. And I'm going to leave it at that. This game was okay, not great, steady improvements.